so happy this chapter went the way it did. I really am. Because I've been dreading a Talk no Jutsu and Obito pulling a Nagato. Now, one of the other is better than both. So, Obito got Talk no Jutsu. He got Talk no Jutsu the fuck out of, okay? And he was also about to pull a Nagato and bring everyone on the battlefield back, I guess, including Neji. Now, as much as I love Neji, he doesn't need to come back because, I mean, the story was getting kind of stale, like no one was dying of importance anyway, and Neji's death made this feel more like a war. So if Obito brought him back, I would have just said, fuck it. But I'm so glad that Madara took over Obito to use the Rin Tensei on himself. This is the first time we've seen Shukaku since just about the beginning of Shippuden, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time we've gotten dialogue from him in all of Shippuden that I'm remembering anyway, except for some flashbacks or whatnot. And just the dialogue between Gaara and Shukaku. Him saying, "You're not my Jinchuriki anymore. Why should I do anything you ask of me?" And Gaara's like, "Man, I'm just asking you a favor, dog. You ain't got to do it if you don't want to." Another good bit of dialogue from Shukaku was when he said that if the QB could transform 7 times, the raccoon could transform 8. Now, technically, if you go by tails, Shukaku is the weakest of all tail beasts, but he's talking all this mad crap. That's why I respect him. He is one of my favorite tail beasts still, even though he got the least spotlight in all of Shippuden. He is still one of the best, man. Even though Obito got all the tail beasts sucked out of him, he's still alive because of the Mazo. It has this life force that's keeping him alive, so he has the Mazo inside of him. So the Mazo was pretty powerful by itself because remember what it did on the shoreline after the Kenkaku and Gikaku fight, or it might have been before, I forget. So, Obito still has some power in him, and he actually tries to revive everyone with the Rin Tensei. I'm like, no, someone please stop it because I don't want him to pull another Nagato. And what do you know? My man Madara, he got hit by a humongous Rasen Shuriken. He got his chakra sucked out by the Wood Dragon, and I'm talking about he still has enough chakra to summon Black Zetsu, or the Black Zetsu have of Obito, and make him change his actions of reviving everyone else to reviving himself. Now Madara, he has to be durable as fuck because a Rasen Shuriken is like, it damages you on like a molecular level, so that like fucks up all your cells and whatnot. And he got hit by it, and he's just still sitting there smiling. He was also covered by 3 posts. It may have been more, but I only saw 3. The same type of posts that Naruto used on the QB when he first got his QB chakra, regular QB chakra mode. And when Madara revived himself, or when Obito, however you want to slice it, when he was revived, he broke out of that like it was nothing. If the QB could not break out of them, I mean, if Madara could do it like that, that means that him being revived is the worst thing for the Alliance right now. A lot of people are already saying that wouldn't the living Madara be weaker than the Edo Tensei, since the Edo Tensei has unlimited chakra? No. If you remember when the 4 Hokage were revived, I forgot, it was Tobirama, it was one of the Hokages, they said that, in the Edo Tensei form, they aren't as powerful as when they were actually living. And that's the same for Madara, I'm guessing, even though that Edo Tensei was done by Orochimaru, it may still be the same. And unlimited chakra probably means nothing to Madara because we see in flashbacks that he has a huge amount of chakra. So he probably won't even run out. I mean, and he has the Rinnegan. And Rinnegan users tend to be very, very, they have a lot of chakra. Take Pain, for example. He did a lot of stuff, even though Nagato was a fucking wreck, but that's because it's not really his Rinnegan for one thing, but he still was able to control all of these pains, do all this stuff, and destroy an entire village. So since the Rinnegan actually belongs to Madara, and Madara's in an Uchiha who are already OP as fuck, there's a lot of chakra in his storage back there, so that's not a problem. He is about to wreck some shit, so it's going to take all the Bijus, Hashirama, Naruto, everyone else to take him down. It was great seeing all the Bijus surrounded in the circle, and I find it hilarious that all the Bijus were there, like the 1 through 8 tails, and Naruto was just sitting there like, yeah, I'm the 9 tails, but I can't fully transform yet. Like 8-tailed beasts and 1 human down there. It just looked funny to me. So we know that you're supposed to die, after you do the Rini Tensei, but maybe not since Obito only revived one person, so it seems right now anyway, and maybe he will survive because of the hacks as jbDAuchiha that's in him, and if he does recover, like if Tsunade heals him or something, after she realizes that he's good now, that he's been talking no jutsu the fuck out of, maybe he can help, especially with the power of the jbDAuchiha, because it's pretty powerful itself, and Obito was pretty, well, I'm not gonna say he was pretty strong, but he had some pretty cool moves, I'm not gonna lie, with using his Sharingan and also his fire style jutsu. I forgot what chapter it was. He had some tricks up his own sleeve, so Obito could be a very valuable ally in this war. Now let's be honest, they need to take all the help they can get against Madara. I'm talking about he's alive and kicking with the Rinnegan, so he's about to fuck some shit up. If a tragic death does not happen soon, then I'm gonna call troll, because as powerful as Madara is, he killed the Kages pretty much, except for Tsunade, and they were revived. So I mean, he really didn't kill anyone of importance besides the people back at headquarters and Neji, but that wasn't done directly by him. It was done with Obito and the Jubi, so I want to see Madara just murder some fools, boy. Question is this his trump card, or now that he is revived, will his trump card be something that he can do, that he could only do while he's actually in living flesh and not Elder Tensei? Or was his trump card him just being revived? If that is the case, then technically his trump card was himself, which would be awesome. I wouldn't put it past Madara, but I have a feeling that there's something that he could do now that he's actually living and that he actually has blood and whatnot. Thought we knew how strong Madara was. We probably haven't seen shit yet. Now that he's revived and he's in his own flesh and blood, he's probably going to wreck the entire battlefield. So Madara right now, as far as we know, is literally the only threat on the battlefield. So if it takes the whole alliance and all the Bijus and everyone else, the Kages, the whole Kages, if all of them are on the battlefield right now and Madara just revived himself, and if he's like the last boss or whatever you want to call it, then that already tells you that we're going to see some awesome, just death-defying, like Jubi level carnage from Madara within the next few chapters. I personally don't see Obito dying right here, right now. I'm pretty sure he's going to help out in some way before he actually does kick the bucket. But tell me what you guys thought about this chapter. It was a lot longer than some of the recent ones. The recent ones have been about 14 to 16 pages. This one was 22, if I believe, which is a good step, especially since we're about to wrap up the entire series. Every chapter needs to be like this. Every chapter needs to have this much plot progression, if not more. So this was a great chapter for me, man. It's a lot better than some of the crap we've been getting lately. But anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.